strange, this feeling that my life's begun at last, this change. Can people really fall in love so fast? What's the matter with you, Cosette? Have you been too much on your own? So many things unclear, so many things unknown. In my life, there are so many questions and answers that somehow seem wrong. In my life, there are times when I catch in the silence the sigh of a faraway song, and it sings of a world that I long to see out of reach, just a whisper away, waiting for me. Does he know I'm alive? Do I know if he's real? Did he see what I saw? Does he feel what I feel? In my life, I'm no longer alone. Now the love in my life is so near. Find me now, find me here.
Dear Cosette, you're such a lonely child. How pensive, how sad you seem to me. Believe me, were it within my power, I'd fill each passing hour. How quiet it must be, I can see, with only me for company.
There's so little I know that I'm longing to know of the child that I was in a time long ago. There's so little you say of the life you have known, why you keep to yourself, why we're always alone. So dark and deep, the secrets that you keep. In my life, I have all that I want. You are loving and gentle and good. But Papa, dear Papa, in your eyes I am just like a child who is lost in a wood.
No more words, no more words. It's a time that is dead. There are words that are better unheard, better unsaid.
In my life, I'm no longer a child, and I yearn for the truth that you know of the years ago.
You will learn. Truth is given by God to us all in our time, in our turn.
My life, she has burst like the music of angels, the light of the sun. And my life seems to stop as if something is over and something has scarcely begun. Eponine, you're the friend who has brought me here. Thanks to you, I am one with the gods and heaven is near. And I saw through a world that is new, that is free.
Every word that he says is a dagger in me. In my life, there's been no one like him anywhere where he is. If he asked, I'd be his. In my life, there is someone who touches my life,
Waiting near.
waiting here.